Alrighty. Thank you both for being here and sharing a little bit more about the journey you've been on and celebrating the awesome successes you've had at Zeneats. Just for our viewers, can you tell me a little bit more about yourselves? A bit about your background, studies, work, etc. Jem, if you'd like to go first.
So I'm Jemima. I am studying teaching education. I'm going to my 4th year, so final push. I work with children at the moment as a side job whilst I'm studying. And yeah, I'm starting Zeneats with Piper.
Love that. Yeah. And, your facilitation with kids, no doubt, has been reflected in how you manage the room as well at the first retreat. So that's awesome that it's complementing the work that you're doing. Thanks for sharing, Jem. Pip, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Piper. I just realized my name is Zeneats on the screen because I logged in through our Gmail. Anyway, I'm Piper. I am a business partner in a people wellbeing and culture team. That's my day job. I'm also a yoga instructor. It's my night job, my out of work hours job. And yeah, have built Zeneats and continue to build Zeneats with Jemima.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing. And, I want to honor you, Piper, as well, because, when we first discussed coaching, you were embarking on a 10-week long, I think, instructor course. And, you're really passionate about it. You still are. And to go from just learning about yoga to now teaching it and teaching it through your own business in only, 3 months, 4 months, it's pretty epic. So, yeah. Really proud of you. Yeah. And look, both of you have talked about Zeneats. So for those that don't know, how would you describe what Zeneats is?
Place to come together with other people, new people or old, and have a relaxing time, meeting new people, finding balance, and having a really wholesome, nice day.
Yeah. So we harness the power of yoga and wellness and nourishing food with guilty pleasures such as wine, chocky, chats, and bring that together to leave people feeling very inspired and rejuvenated.
Best of both worlds. I love that. Yeah. And, I spoke to one of your colleagues, Piper, who you did the instructor course with, Mickey, and she felt even more inspired to, continue with teaching and go to Move, I think it was, to start practicing and teaching. So, the work that you're doing is already having a real impact on the people that you're serving, which is really beautiful. The next question is, what were some of the challenges that you experienced before you started working with me? Piper, would you like to go first?
So I've been lucky in that I've kind of worked with you twice. I worked with you a bit on myself and then together with Jemima and Zeneats. If I look back to before I even worked with you at all, I was feeling I lacked with confidence. And I originally felt really immature at work and that I wasn't taken seriously. And that I kind of sorted that all out and, felt that I could really command my space in the office. And then I had some confidence issues with my yoga and wanting to promote that on social media, as well as Zeneats. And then I've been able to do that as well. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Piper. Jemima?
Some challenges I faced beforehand would have been probably sort of self-doubt, like not thinking I wasn't good enough, self-confidence, which kind of triggers self-doubt, and having a lack of motivation were the top 3 things that I found hard to overcome before starting with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, Jem. And, the self-doubt is something that I've struggled with as well. Something that I think everyone on some level grapples with, and can be really derailing, especially when you're trying to put yourself out there and promote yourself and stand by something that you believe in. It can be really difficult. But both of you have overcome that, and now Zeneats is flourishing. So it's a testament to you both for showing up and doing the work on yourselves. The next question is, what was the turning point moment for you? Jemima, you're welcome to go first.
Do you mean the turning point for those challenges we had?
Yeah, like at which point did you start to notice that things were changing, whether it was your self-confidence or maybe a turning point in the business? What did that look like for you?
I think a big turning point whilst I was still at uni, like I was never very confident with public speaking and doing a lot of teaching. Obviously, we've had to do public speaking in front of the classes, and I noticed at the end of uni last year my grades were going up in those sort of assessments, which was great. And I felt more confident from that, just getting those grades back and some reassurance. So that was a big turning point.
That is awesome. Yeah, and that's you doing the inner work, and it's just being reflected in how you project yourself. So awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Piper?
I think a turning point for the business would have been when we did an exercise on our why, and we knew what we wanted to do, and we knew that we enjoyed it, but we didn't really know the why behind it. So really unpacking that has really driven us. And when we were able to launch, whenever we were nervous, we would just remind ourselves of our why. And I felt that once we figured out and established our why, we really launched ourselves into the following weeks.
Amazing. Yeah. Your why is your leverage and your fuel. So yeah, both of you for taking the time to think about what Zeneats means to you and what it will allow you to do is amazing and so empowering. So yeah, thank you for doing it. And what would you say life is like now that you've invested in yourself through coaching? Like, what have been the ripple effects in your life, Piper?
I think the main ripple effect in our life is that we were able to launch. I don't think we would have done that. And we got to spend a weekend doing what we love, bringing people together and seeing them enjoy themselves. And, we went away with a small profit, but the profit's only going to get larger. And yeah, Jem and I had a really good time doing it together. We really love working together. So I think the ripple effect really is that we've been able to build Zeneats.
That's amazing. Yeah, and firstly, it is so hard for any business to turn over a profit, in their first 1 or 2 years, let alone in their first 3 months. So I think the fact that you've been able to do that is incredible. And what's more important is, you are doing what you love, right? You're actually enjoying the work that you're involving yourselves in, and you're helping people as a result, which is unreal. Thanks for sharing, Piper. Jemima?
Yeah, I agree with Piper. Like the business, just seeing it grow, and it's going to continue growing. I think from this, it's going to be a full ripple effect. And as well, I think I'm speaking for you here as well, Piper, but I think both of us have become a lot more disciplined, which is showing the growth in the business as well.
Incredible. Yeah, that's absolutely spot on. I mean, the way that you've made time for exercise and study and self-reflection and for each other and for the business, it's and not only just doing that once off, like you've done it consistently. That's what really leads to the growth that you've been experiencing. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I know you touched on the profit that you've turned over. expand on that, and what other tangible, business results that you're excited to celebrate as well. Jem, you're welcome. Oh, either
Well,
of you.
there's a couple coming up that I think we're going to be excited to reflect on afterwards, and they're going to be big events happening for Zeneats. So I think they're two big tangible events coming, but at the launch that we've just had is our main one so far.
And so we sold out for our launch event.
Yeah.
It's like tangible win. We like 130 likes on our post, our launch post, which, we'd been tracking at like 40 was our best, and then we went quite low, and we were struggling in our social media department. We had the confidence to share them with our like primary accounts, and then we saw the photo engagement skyrocket. So I don't know, our next aim is to double our followers on Instagram. And then of course more events.
Love that. Yeah, selling out on your first retreat, that's just outstanding. Super proud of you both. And what, like, if you had to quantify, and if you feel comfortable sharing as well, like, how many lives have you touched through this first retreat, and how much revenue has the business generated in the past 3 months?
Sorry, Gilbert. Trying to think. If we were to quantify the lives we've touched, I think we could look at it very like small-minded, that just the people that attended the event. But I do think it has a ripple effect, because there's been people that didn't come that have seen posts and gone, oh, that's really cool. People saw us on Eventbrite and reached out. So I think I think rather than putting a number on it, I reckon we would have increased it by like 80%. For revenue, if we were to take away, giving to charity, which we are giving to charity, our revenue since our first 2 events were completely free to go up to, it was like almost $2,000.
Yeah, just under.
So pretty good.
That's awesome. Incredible. And how much have you raised for charity as well?
Altogether now we would have raised $1,300, including our first charity event.
Incredible. That is so wonderful. And please feel free to share which charities you've been supporting as well, and what work they do.
Yeah, so our first charity was the Palestinian Children Relief Fund. So we raised just shy of $900. Actually, I think it ended up being $900 for them. And, they're actively helping children, and they're just humanitarians in Gaza. And then our next charity was the Kalara Foundation, who assists in aiding Indigenous employment rates and housing rates.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you, for what you're doing, because it's having really positive ripple effects in the community. It's not just your business and your circles; it's having a huge impact. What would you say the favorite part of working with me was, Jem, if you'd like to go?
I think working with you, having your guidance and all the resources you gave were just out of this world, amazing. And the guidance, and just as well as your support throughout the whole thing. I think Piper and I would have still been sort of 5 months behind if we hadn't have come and had your help along the way. So I think your support and guidance was just huge.
Thank you, Jem. I appreciate that. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It's you wouldn't have been able to make such awesome progress had you not fully participated and invested in the process, and and you showed up to every meeting. You utilized all the resources. You filled them all out. You implemented it into your business as well. Like, that's awesome. So keep doing it. Thank you for sharing. Piper?
Yeah, you're just such a cheerleader, which I think is so important to have. Whenever we needed a sounding board or whenever we had a flicker of doubt, you really helped us reshape and reframe the situations or our negative thoughts. And just being so positive and kind of inclusive it's true, you're inclusive, but it's more like open-minded, and you could help us flesh out the big picture and be like as creative. There was no walls around us ever. And yeah, I think that has just been so valuable and is so rare to get that.
That means a lot, Piper. Thank you. Where do you think you would be, and how would you be feeling now if you hadn't taken the chance to work with me? Jemima?
Well, like I said before, I think we'd be 5 months behind, still sort of going around in circles as to how do we do this? What are we doing? Like, are we doing the right thing? And I think we would just continue going around in circles and not ever sort of be as proactive as we've been about it all.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing.
Pip? I think we would have been umming and ahhing still. I don't think we would have launched because I don't think we would have backed ourselves to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I laugh about it when I look at our Instagram posts. We just post like random garbage, and because we didn't understand the concept of posting with an end goal in mind, and and yeah, I think we'd still be there posting to post, but not actually getting out there.
I hear you. Yeah, it sounds like it's more intentional. When you do create content, there's a strategy behind it and a goal in mind, and 130 likes and engagement and the retreat selling out. Those are all just signs and reflections of the work you've been doing. So yeah, congratulations, you two.
Thank you,
David.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share or add? Anything that I haven't asked you about yet?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, no, I think the questions are very, very good questions and got us thinking. I think we're just really, really grateful, and we had a lot of fun as well. I think it's little personal touches that you put in. It's like you really meet us where we're at, and the follow-up emails, it's just you put a lot of love into it as well, which I think we've really valued a lot too. So watching you run your business kind of shows us the little touches and going that extra mile that we'd like to put in ours.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, you two, and yeah, thank you for being you, right? Like, you both always showed up to each session very authentically, and you weren't afraid to express not only the positives but also some of the negative thoughts and challenges that you've been dealing with, and that way we could nip them in the bud sooner, and you've grown just incredibly. Yeah, that's that's it. But this whole reflection has meant a lot. I'll stop recording, but yeah, I'd love to hear from you both, just in terms of